In this video, you will learn 5 ways to scale your Amazon FBA business, and I'm sharing with you how I started selling used textbooks in a tiny studio apartment in Miami to a business that's selling over $1 million in annual sales. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lester, and I've been selling on Amazon FBA since 2021. And as you've seen, I've sold millions throughout that time. And the strategies that you will learn today are from my own personal experience, and it's perfect for someone new and growing Amazon sellers that's looking to hit the $10,000 mark per month. And these tips will show you how to use what you have already to grow your business. So let's get started and how you can apply them to achieve similar results. So the cool thing about this is that if you already have an Amazon seller account, and chances that you were watching this video is you have it already, is just you don't have to do much. You literally just have to click a few buttons and allows you to expand your marketplace and sell globally. And I didn't even find out about this feature until like 2 years later when I first started selling. And what's really nice about it as well is like the same listings, for example, you're selling on the US marketplace, can be activated to sell in other marketplace. And again, just allows you to sell globally. And this is the easiest and most obvious way to scale your business without doing much. Again, you just have to activate it. And to do that, you're gonna wanna go to your Seller Central account. So you guys can see right here. So sellercentral.amazon.com/sell-globally/home. Okay, and I'm gonna link it down below. So when you click it, it will bring you right back. So you guys can see right here on my screen. If I do want to sell in your marketplace, right, you can see the potential sales right here, over $4 million annually. Again, these are the different countries involved in the Europe, even Japan. If you want to open up Japan right here, it's $1 million. I mean, guys, all you do is literally activate this, and the easiest way to do this is to start in the Americas, okay? And the reason I say the Americas because we are connected to the same continent. If you have a US account, so you guys can see right here, it involves, US, Canada, Brazil. So those are the main ones. Again, you just have to literally activate it. But if we go back and open up, different stores worldwide, it's the same listings you're selling right now. And you're literally just either register or link the account, and that's it. You are good to go. So definitely a no-brainer, easy way to scale your business by just opening up more, customers seeing your products to available to purchase it. So this has been my path, and this is how I found success in Amazon FBA, just literally combining different business models. And don't let these people, put you in a box basically where you need to start doing one sense of business model. When I first started, as I mentioned, I started selling used college textbooks. So that meant going from different thrift stores, Goodwill stores, just to kind of find the different books, right? So I was going from bookstore till, kind of knew what I was doing. But then I hit into a wall, and many of you guys are probably, experience the same thing, right? It's harder to scale that way just because you might not have enough time, or you run out of, inventory to purchase. So that's when I started to add and dabble in online arbitrage, where ordering stuff online. So I kind of did a bit of RA, then I did some online arbitrage, was ordering stuff getting sent to my house and apartment, and then I was combining those two. So I was doing that for 1 to 2 years. Then once I got the hang of it a little bit, I got some help, with, assistant and stuff like that, allowed me to free up a bit of my time. And, I kind of tried wholesale, right? And at the end of the day, that was the formula that kind of got me going to where I'm at now. And I really recommend for you to do that, because, if you think about like that Titanic, right? Like the analogy of it was that Titanic hit the iceberg because it did not, move out of the way in order to hit that iceberg. It wasn't fast enough to steer. So think yourself as a new seller, this is your advantage, that you are a boat where you can literally move around, steer your, boat easily to avoid that iceberg, versus like a bigger ship, let's say like a business that strictly does, wholesale. It's hard for them to pivot because they put all their eggs in that one basket. So this is your advantage as a new seller that is still growing, to really try the different business models out there, and don't limit yourself. You don't know what's possible out there. And again, this is how I found success, by just trying different things. So yeah, if you're currently doing the arbitrage model, whether it's retail or online, try to dabble up in wholesale once in a while. Just, call up different wholesale suppliers, and vice versa. If you're strictly doing wholesale, why not go in store and try, go to different Nike outlets, for example, and just see what they have out there. Again, it doesn't hurt, but again, you are opening up more opportunities out there and you don't know what it's going to lead, but just putting yourself in that situation, you might get lucky. And what I mean here is really hone in and focus in a category, become an expert on that, know what are the top brands, what are the brands that not many people know about. That's how you can really cultivate, have an advantage for yourself. Because, if you are trying the different business models I mentioned, you're going to eventually find a category that simply works for you. And for my situation, I started selling books, then I dabbled with online arbitrage, finding, baby clothes, toys. It wasn't working. And then I stumbled upon doing groceries and clothing like shoes. And that's where I really found success, where, for retail arbitrage, I was going to different, Nike stores, for example, and finding products that I can purchase in store that have limited quantities, but then I would, help with online arbitrage or a bit of wholesale to kind of grow the business. But I was staying in that category because I knew the top brands and other upcoming brands that many people don't know about, because they are just everywhere, regarding the categories. And if you didn't know, I actually made a video about this called the SSP method, where you use the bestseller ranking to determine whether a product is good or not. But remember, each category has their own ranking, so it's really good to get familiarized with it and be an expert, because that will allow you to just see a product that other people do not see immediately. Okay, let me show you guys an example right here. So I just selected this beauty product, NARS Cosmetic, and it has Seller Amp here pulled up, which is a Google Chrome extension for data analysis and also work as a profit calculator. But what's really cool about if you use the Seller Amp right here, because it shows you the different competition you have regarding, any products, right? So you can see this person here, Pro Satisfaction, has a certain amount of stock, Hot Health and Beauty, right? So basically where we need to go here is, for example, let's just click on this. And if I had to guess, this person right here have a lot of reviews. They've been doing Amazon for a while. They've found success. You can see 3,000 plus reviews. They're most likely going to be a beauty seller. If I had to guess, that's probably where they found success. So let's go ahead and click on their store here and open up. As you can see, Hot Health and Beauty. So you can see a lot of the brand names right off the bat are beauty brands per se, because that's where they really became an expert and found an advantage, whether that's wholesale or, they kind of know the cycle of getting discounts from different, the stores per se. So we got Charlotte Tilbury, NARS, Bobby Cosmetic, Fendi Beauty, Rare Beauty, Sephora. I mean, guys, all these are beauty products. You can see that's 239 product counts versus the rest are a little bit. So this is a great example of doing storefront stock, where you can also see the brands available and where they really found success by just focusing and being an expert on the beauty category. So I'd highly recommend for you to take an actionable steps on which category you're really finding success, and look through the different, competition in stores to give you an idea of the brands or just the different products that you weren't thinking about. And that's how I did when I first started, because I was basically piggybacking off the hard work of other people, right? By the way, guys, if you've been finding value in this video so far, make sure you click the thumbs up button, because it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you are enjoying the content, subscribe for more Amazon FBA content. Let's do a recap here. You've learned how to show your products to more customers by expanding your marketplace. You've learned how to combine different business models to find more products. The one we just talked about is how you can be an expert in the category, but all of that wouldn't matter if you don't have the inventory to back it up. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, Lester, why didn't you just, buy more inventory? Well, yes, you can do that, but you also don't want to just spend blindly. You want to make sure your investments, the money, the capital you're going to be using, go on the right inventory. So you want to be strategic about it and make sure you use it wisely, because it's really important to dig deep and have the understanding of sales and cash flow and inventory. But let's go ahead and break it up so that way it's easy to follow. So one thing I've learned, I'm sure you will as well, is that math do not lie, right? Like the numbers don't lie. So let's break it down here. Let's say you want to achieve, the $10,000 sales per month. Okay, rough estimates. You need some sort of inventory to get to that sales, and usually 50% of that is what's going to get you. Meaning you need at least $5,000 $10,000 worth of, products you're going to invest in order to reach $10,000 in total sales. Okay. Now, if you're only spending $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, then you are going to hit a ceiling. You just can't simply expect to hit the $10,000 sales if you're only spending, a few $1,000s. It just doesn't make sense, right? Like, you need to get your items for free or really cheap in order to do that. But realistically, for a lot of you guys watching out there, it needs to be at least 50% what you need to hit your goal to be spending that much on inventory. Because at the end of the day, you're just gonna run out of products, then it's hard to scale out there, and thus you're just on that cycle of repeating over and over again and just banging your wall in order to get that magic number of $10,000 per se. So as you grow your Amazon FBA business, you're simply going to realize that you can't do everything. And I was such a stubborn when it comes to that because, as most of you guys, you probably don't want to control every aspect of the business, but you're going to realize soon that it's not the best way to spend your time, especially when you're trying to scale, right? Like, you can't be doing everything. And here's what I mean. When you first start, it's okay to do a lot of the, wearing the different hats, quote unquote, on the business where you're doing the sourcing, the packing, the shipping, the whole 9 yards. But as you grow, you're going to run out of energy and time because your most highest return on investment is where you're going to be making money, right? You have to kind of sit down. It's like, okay, we're working hard, but we also want to work smart. So where would that be? And I found for my business, it was finding products, AKA sourcing, right? Because if I can source, $400, $500 worth of profit in an hour, it wouldn't make sense for me to pack, my items where I can just hire someone or a prep center, which we're going to talk in a little bit, for $1 in order to prep an item. Okay. So that's where really it's important to start thinking like a business owner, where you're taking yourself out of the business instead of working in the business. So this is something that, we're all going to learn. I'm still learning how to manage as well as you grow. It's part of scaling, and don't be intimidated with it, because when I first started, I was like, oh crap, I'm going to want to hire someone like a virtual assistant. How do I, hire someone or train to pack my products, make sure it's done correctly? It's all a scary step. But again, if we take this into digestible small pieces, like one step at a time, is how we can make it not as overwhelming. So to get started there, the first and easiest step, right? Like you want to remove as much friction, is to automate things already. And the easiest way to automate things are the stuff that are repetitive, things that, you need to do every day, which doesn't really add much to the business, right? So one of the things I found was using a repricer. If you didn't know, a repricer basically, automatically prices your products in order to be competitive, in order for you to constantly get sales, right? So I didn't know about a repricer when I first started back in 2021. I was manually, painfully repricing each items I have, and it was slowly growing as I bought more books, right, or toys, and combining all the different business models. And it was just like end up spending 2 hours every day just manually changing the price in order to stay competitive. I'm like, oh my god, there's got to be a better way. So that's why I stumbled upon a repricer, and you guys should start using a repricer, or at least keep trying in order to get to that level. I would say if you're reaching about, 4,000, 5,000 in sales, it's time for you to get a repricer, because it sucks up so much time. If you're spending an hour, even an hour a day or 30 minutes, it's still worth getting that. Most repricers are very user friendly. I recommend Be Cool or Seller Snap. Those are the really good repricers that's, worth your money. What I found about it as well is you can change different rules as well. We're not going to go over in this video, but in the possible videos, if you want to learn about repricer, definitely, comment down below. So yeah, that's one way to automate things. Another one that is a good step once you, start growing your business and start thinking about it, not just for Amazon, but it could be in your daily life, right? Is hiring a virtual assistant. So, and a good virtual assistant or, an employee overseas is such a game changer, because they can do so many tasks, right? Like whatever your business needs. So for me, it was finding products where I can just wake up in the morning, have additional leads, because I'm still sourcing additional leads that I wake up to that can just help me supplement. And that's how it really, helped me level up to the next level and allowed my business to really grow. But again, you can have your virtual assistant do whatever your business needs. It's not a cookie cutter approach. You have her for full time, right? Ideally. And what's really cool about the virtual assistant is that they're very flexible as well, whether the time or any task, as I mentioned. And for mine, I've had my virtual assistant for a couple years now. She works 40 hours a week. And how I got her hired is I used onlinejobs.ph. So I've hired multiple virtual assistants, employees from there, and even my full-time video editor who's editing this video right now are all from onlinejobs.ph. Another way you can delegate is using a prep center, and this is one of the things that I took my time with it, and you should as well, because not all prep centers are created equally. You really need to pay attention which one you are potentially going to work with, because it can make or break your business, and sometimes it can be, a pain in the butt if you're not working with the right one. And for me, it took me multiple prep centers in order to find one, but now I have a good idea what to look for. And for me, I would recommend going to prepcenter.com. That's where you're going to find a lot of reputable prep centers that you can work with, ideally on a no state tax. There's 5 of them. You just have to Google which states don't have tax or they're tax free, and those are the best prep centers to use for. How do I know if a prep center is reputable? Okay, so going based on that websites I recommend is you're going to want to read reviews, ask questions from other Amazon sellers out there that may have worked with them. Basically do your due diligence, right? Don't just go in there blindly right off the bat. You're going to want to maybe send them a test order, maybe 50 units, 100 units, and just see how fast is their turnaround, right? How is their communication? Are they professional? There's a lot of things you can test and really have an idea to see if they are a good prep center, and that's the best way from my experience in order to see if they are reliable and can work with them for a long time. So there you have it, guys. Those are 5 actionable strategies that you can use at the end of this video, and that's how I found success scaling my business from a small tiny studio apartment all the way to selling over $2 million in total sales in Amazon FBA. And remember, let's work hard and smart at the same time. And guys, if you want to deep dive for more Amazon FBA tips, don't forget to sign up for my free newsletter, Amazon FBA. The link will be down below. And thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn what are the best categories to sell on Amazon FBA, check this video right here. Thank you guys so much. Catch you in the next one. Peace.